Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Sly Cooper Thieves in Time for the Sony PlayStation 3. In the last video, the quartet is complete. We finally have Carmelina in the party after she somehow ended up in this era, and we had to utilize her gun in order to get some things done. For instance, if I go to the van, or where the van should be, which is now a desk, I'll explain that very, very soon. We found out that Carmelita ended up in the Wild West, 1884. Toothpick ended up rescuing her, but soon after, the Cooper gang got captured by Toothpick and his men. And not only that, but they also took the van. Because Murray mentioned, hey, where's the van? After Tennessee Kid Cooper had to go and free the Cooper gang. So because of that, we have no van, at least not in the menu at the very least. And we had to get the van back while also derailing Toothpick's plans. And we have a new mission. We get to play as Murray for once in this chapter. Grand Key Larceny. I might as well go buy some moves for him. And there's the steerable fist spin. Allows Murray to steer the fist spin attack using the left stick. Definitely will be buying that. There's a clothesline. Double tap R1 and steer the attack with left stick. Getting that. And the Juggernaut throw, which makes any thrown item from Murray, whether it be an item or an enemy, explosive. And it works just like it did in Sly 2 and Sly 3. We're getting this. And I really need to get some coins one of these days. But for now, let's go ahead and play as Murray. That way we can finally stop listening to Toothpick, because apparently he talks way too much. Way too much for my tastes. And from here is on to one of yet another of a zillion loading screens. Not much else to say, except once we get out of this loading screen, I'll definitely be able to show off Murray's new moves in detail. So the clothesline. You're supposed to double tap R1 and then steer the attack with the left stick. You actually move with the left stick and then double tap and then hold R1 on the second tap in order to get the move to work. You only get to do this move for about a second, because it relies on the yellow bar below Murray's health. Yes, he's going to have a yellow bar just like Bentley does. And if anybody has a move that requires a cooldown time, they're probably going to have a yellow bar as well. Much like with Tennessee Kid Cooper and the crack shot technique, or Bentley and the hoverjet. There's the steerable fist spin. And you can also charge this up as well, which is great. You're not stuck in place with any of the charge moves anymore. And if I do get a chance to show off the Juggernaut throw, at least the explosive part of it, I definitely will show it off when I get the chance. And I thought I got noticed. I didn't. But I might as well go ahead and shake this guy down for coins. And then slam him down. Really need to work towards that achievement. What if I can... Well, that's already explosive. Barrel will do. And yep, it explodes. So now that is all shown off, let's get over to where that marker is. And I wonder if there's going to be an enemy there. It'll be all over very soon, buddy. Okay. Nope. Or actually, yes. That is where I want to do. And that is the thing that I want to show off. If I can make it happen. Is he going to go somewhere? That's not what I wanted. Oh! Oh, apparently you can switch gloves with Murray. I did not even know that until I accidentally pressed L2. Interesting. Very interesting. And not exactly what I wanted, but I guess I will show this off. Want to see a glitch? All you have to do is just carry an enemy to a job marker that has one of these loading screens.
Thanks to the bug in Toothpick's office, we have a pretty clear idea of what's going on. Toothpick plans on moving the stolen gold out of the mine using his special train. Unfortunately, that train is now also being turbocharged by our van. And need I mention that we're stranded in time unless we recover it? Well, anyway, it's useless to go after the train in the mine. Toothpick will have stepped up security since our escape, and the place will be crawling with guards. We're going to have to hit that train while it's rolling, but first, we're going to have to catch it, and we'll do that by diverting its route. After surveying the rail system, I've determined there are 3 key track switches we will need to throw, and Toothpick has entrusted the keys to 3 of his toughest henchmen, Wildman Wiesner, Frenchie Lestage, and Red-Eye Robles. Furthermore, these guys keep the keys around at all times. The good news is that during the Toothpick Appreciation Festival, there are a number of contests, and all of them will be competing. Murray, I took the liberty of entering you in the Bare Knuckle Brawl contest. Wildman is the defending champion, and he's sure to have the key on his person. Sly, I hope you're feeling fast because you're going to be competing in the crookedest race in the West, the Toothpick 500. Frenchie happens to be the defending champ, so it's a sure bet it's his time that you'll have to beat. Carmelita, you'll be up against Red-Eye in the shooting contest. As the defending champ, he keeps the trophy close by, with the 3rd key inside. Now let's get going. We don't have any time to waste.
Oh, I thought I was actually going to be able to do it. Well, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what I was trying to do was I was trying to make it so that when this got back to the gameplay screen, this guy will be gone. However, you could still hear him whimpering. It worked with a jackrabbit enemy, but it didn't work with this guy. Oh well. Anyway, we're going to have to compete in some cowboy games in order to get the 3 keys so we can reroute the train so we can get to the van and then stop Toothpick. Really needed to be reminded of the Lumberjack games from Fly 2. Thanks, game. Anyway, as soon as we approach this door and interact, we'll be doing this. And defeating these guys is pretty simple. I can't believe I had a chair thrown at me. All you really have to do is just stomp and then throw one guy into another. Or, you know, they can just get close to one another and I can just bash them all at once. And it should be easier from here, though, thankfully. Just stomp a guy to get him up. Use the right analog stick to spin the camera around. Keep using it so that way you know who you can throw someone at. And it shouldn't be long until you beat 20 of these guys. Once you do that, you'll get your real opponent. And they're all coming out of the corners. Very interesting. And now it's time to face Wild Man. And guess what? He's going to have his own lackeys too. But you can throw the lackeys into him if you know what you're doing. Of course, he will chase after you. And if you know what you're doing, you should be able to get away from him. And you should be able to throw somebody at him. Yeah, it won't be long until you should be able to... Really? I can't do that with a chair? That's something. I thought maybe you would have been able to do it with a chair, but I guess not. Gotta do it with the enemies then.
Problem, because you know... Don't say it! That's how I roll.
Why? Anyway,
I feel like I'm in the circus.
we need to follow the arrow that is in front of us. We need to avoid the spotlights. And we need to avoid being blown up as we do all of this. And if we can do that, we can cross each checkpoint with plenty of time to spare. Thankfully, every checkpoint has these red and yellow checkerboard patterns. Oh, and you definitely don't want to run in the TNT. That will definitely end the run and send you all the way back to the beginning, which is something that you really don't want to do, and I just ran into a lizard. Okay. Not like it really did anything for me, but if there was like... If there was... like a TNT barrel near that or something, it would have hurt. Now here you definitely want to be careful. Don't run into the lasers. That will count as a death. And from here, we need to watch for the little red marker so that way we know where the dynamite's going to land. And for this part, you want to get on this wooden porch. And you just want to watch that red marker right there. That's an indicator that dynamite's going to land there. And we just made it.
Excellent! You got the keys, Sly. Now scram!
Oh, now that's some fine shooting right there. Well, that's it, folks. Looks like this year's champion is going to be... Wait, hold everything. We got ourselves a latecomer. Let's see what this pretty little lady has got.
Well, what have we here? Little lady, I know you can't be here to shoot, because there ain't even no man around these parts can stand up to me.
I see what you mean. I can barely stand you myself. But if you're scared of losing, I understand.
Well, I just won the competition, so you're too late. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. You just go right ahead, sweet thing. If you can beat my score, you get this here trophy. But if you lose, you gotta give me a kiss. What do you say?
Ay, this guy's breath smells like fermented gym socks.
Carmelita, we don't have a choice.
All right, I'll take your wager. But you better get ready to hand over that trophy.
And you better get ready for some serious lip wrestling.
And for this part, we're aiming with the right analog stick. And we need to make sure that we hit all of the brown targets with the little targets on them.
To wipe the grin off this clown's face.
The moving targets, you actually want to hit, because they'll give you more points than the non-moving ones. You want to get 100 points before this is done. And if I could actually do this, this would be great.
Just have to keep
There we go.
What the? This ain't happening. It's like some kind of magic trick.
The only thing disappearing is your trophy, Red Eye.
Way to go, Carmelita. Now grab that key.
You couldn't have wiped it off before you brought it here? Well, anyway, back to the target practice thing. The shootout where you have to play as Carmelita. You aim with the right analog stick, you shoot with R1. You have to shoot the brown targets with the little red and white bullseyes on them. Those give you 2 points each out of 100. And you also have to shoot the moving targets, the moving brown targets with the red and white bullseyes on them. Those are worth 5. If anything is blue with dollar signs on them, you don't want to shoot those. You actually want to shoot the stuff with the targets on them. And whenever you shoot one of the targets down, another one will immediately take its place. This is especially true of the moving targets that are 5 points each. I made it a point to rely on those rather well in order to get as many points as I could, as quickly as I could. Usually it takes me less time than it did just now to get all those points, but I still managed to get all those points nevertheless. And now it is time for the final mission of Chapter 2, Operation Gold Digger. Obviously, we're going to have to play Sly, and I might as well go ahead and get some moves for him. And there's a new move for Murray, the Fist of Flame. Apparently, you can select this with L2 if you're playing as Murray, and it just gives you Fire Punch. Instead of just being an ability that you can turn on for a specific amount of time, you have them on all the time. You just have to equip them, which is interesting. Could have come in handy in Sly 2 and 3, but anyway, we got a new move for, well, we got a new old new move for Sly, rather, the Smoke Bomb. Press L1 to drop a Smoke Bomb. Once you get by this, Sly will have a yellow gauge at the bottom of the health bar when you play as him, and that will be used for the Smoke Bomb. And once I choose Sly, I'll be able to not only get the mission underway and show off the Smoke Bomb, but I also get to pick some things up. And thankfully, those things that I can pick up with Sly, which is kind of nice. So, I could have done this video last night, but by the time I was done with the practice run, I had been recording for an hour, and it was almost 2 a.m., and I'm like, ugh, forget it. This ain't happening. And, well, now that it's another night, and I've been able to do 2 other games so far today, I'm doing this now, and here's a smoke bomb. You can use a smoke bomb to get away from enemies, just like in Sly 2 and Sly 3. And, hey, the thing does go away after a while. Okay, cool. At least I know the radar will come back up. But anyway, we need to utilize the rails that the train is under in order to get and I forgot that I can run on the rails, but oh well. Well, I was gonna get that one thing, but I might as well. How far will I go if I do it this way? Or rather, how fast will I go if I do it this way? Well, I probably won't be able to reach the train in time, but if I stop over here and look around, there's a slime mask. Might as well go ahead and mark that down in the notes. And before you ask, this is the stop before the one that takes you to the giant beer mug during the note bottle hunt that we did some time ago. And this is a treasure. I'm not going for it as much as I would like to. And it's a good thing I waited, because I can now get on the train this time. Alright. Want to make sure that I use the paraglider and the circle button so I can get to where I need to go. And do I have anything for extras? I gotta have stuff for extras. Well, I might as well show this off. Sly owns the darkest night in this costume. Cloaked in shadow, he's a tireless force for justice and picking pockets. And if you turn this on, I might as well just go ahead and show it off. Wait for the revolving arrow to stop. Well, I thought I had that turned on. Let's try that again. Apparently, I think I must have to get out of this in order to use it. I guess. I'll try to show it off again once I get to our next destination, which should look familiar from the clue bottle hunt, because here it is. If I can jump to it. Huh, apparently you can't use this costume while you're rail walking, apparently. Anyway, if we go back over here, we can smack some pigs around. I guess I'll do that just to get some coins and what have you. And if I can do this correctly, I can jump up here and get another one of those slime masks. We saw that earlier. We just... Okay, I guess you can use this while rail walking and running. I guess it just wouldn't load in. Weird. Well, I might as well go ahead and turn it off, because I can't really take this seriously. They say you can't judge a book by its cover, but in this outfit, you know Bentley will reign supreme and execute some code. I forgot I'd reached 20 slime masks. I'll show that off later. And I'm pretty sure that once I get out of... There we go. Yeah, apparently you can't seem to switch costumes when you're in real walk and real slide mode. Who'd have thunk it? Anyway, we need to get over there. If we want to go ahead and complete this entire chapter, because I've been spending enough time lollygagging as it is. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to beat the train this way. I don't think. Yeah, I'm not going to beat the train that way. But we made it to the marker.
Okay, eyes front, everyone. The clock is ticking on this one, so we don't have time to monkey around. Toothpick's gold train is already rolling, and with the incorporation of our van, it's virtually impossible to stop. Thankfully, Tennessee was able to divert the train's route, which gives us the chance we need to catch it. First, Murray, you're going to get the van back. It's positioned near the rear of the train, acting not unlike a booster rocket. It's going to take your considerable fighting skills just to reach it. The catch is that it's being secured with a set of special magnetic locks, which can only be broken by someone of your immense strength. Once the van is free, you'll be able to catch the train and pick each of us up as we complete our tasks. Carmelita, you and I will tackle the next set of cars. I need you to use your peerless marksmanship and cover me while we make our way forward. It won't be easy. The train is crawling with guards, and they'll be gunning for both of us. Our goal is to reach a computer terminal near the middle of the train, where I'm going to do a little hacking. As we already know, Toothpick cannot stand high-pitched frequencies, particularly whistles. So I'll reroute the power and control of the steam whistles on the train engine. Something tells me this will come in handy when we finally reach him. Sly and Tennessee, you're up next. To ensure we stop Toothpick, we'll need to cover all possible escape routes. So Sly, you'll take the roof of the train. Tennessee, you'll move through the cars, where we should be able to reclaim your gold along the way. But your gunslinging will definitely be put to the test. You both should reach the engine around the same time, where you can take Toothpick down. The rest of us will catch up with you in the van. One last thing. Don't forget we're a team, and that's the only way we're going to be able to pull this off. Everyone needs to execute their part of the plan perfectly if we're going to get the van, steal the gold, and stop Toothpick. Now let's move out.
And the final mission for Chapter 2 is underway. And we now have a third of all the masks in the game. Outstanding. Now all I have to do is just wait for this mission to load, and then we can finally get this underway. So we need to throw these TNT barrels into these electrical things that are blocking the van. And we also have to deal with the rats, which are going to show up until we actually get this done.
steal this gold?
You really should think of it as correcting history.
Well, time to play as Carmelita for the first time, and she actually plays a little differently than she played in 3. You actually have to hold L1 in order to get into strafe mode. And it's only in strafe mode that you can fire in the first place. Want to be very careful. Don't want to get yourself shot down a whole bunch.
Keep shooting, Carmelita.
Just keep an eye out for enemies. Shoot down TNT barrels whenever you can. Try to use cover whenever you can, and just don't get hit a whole lot.
No more señorita nice girls.
And we now got 2 of these guys, so let's hide all the way out over here. Taking a lot of damage here, more than I would like. And there should be 1 more. There we are.
With your shooting and my hiding, we make a great team. Now to jack that terminal. All right, time for a hack attack.
And now to blow this up with a bomb. Preferably one that explodes. Because apparently I forgot that I had the sleep ammo equipped.
Yes, I'll have those whistles rigged in a jiffy.
And then we can do some hacking in order to hijack the whistles and really mess up Toothpick's hearing. So once again, we're in dual stick shooter mode again. This time I am going to go ahead and collect the stars and hopefully do this without getting hit a whole lot. Definitely want to level up to level 1 first and foremost. That way we can really level up and tear through the enemies here a little more easily. And the more I can level up, the more I'll be able to do things. Of course. I mean, at this point, we're going to start having 3-way shots as well as homing missiles, which is always cool. Definitely want to be able to get our hands on those. And I got hit there, which means I went all the way back to level 3. Getting hit in this minigame, in this hacking game, not good. You definitely do not want to get hit. The more strength levels you can get your hands on, the better.
Yes, I just gained a valence shell.
Alright, and now to get over to here. At least the purple bubbles won't be able to damage us. So there is that. And now it's time to destroy the core. And now to see what... Oh, this is interesting. Okay, 10's the max level apparently. And we have a lot of fire, and I believe we also have a shield, too. And I did a lot of damage there. That was awesome. So, yeah, we already know how to destroy this thing just from last time. Just keep shooting at the eye. Take out the enemies and make sure to stay out of their way. And you should be able to take the boss out. And of course, use those walls for cover when the big green laser pops up, so that way you don't get nailed and you don't lose the power level. So now that that's done, it's now going to be time to play as the Cooper clan. We're going to be playing as Sly and Tennessee Kid Cooper in the next part of this.
Sly, the whistles are the key.
Oh, ouch! My ear holes! I think I have vertigo!
Yes!
Okay, Bentley. Glad I could help out.
And yet another system falls before my skills. Go get 'em, boys!
About time. My trigger finger is twitching.
And now that we've messed up Toothpick's hearing, it's time to play as Tennessee Kid Cooper. Do want to look behind you at the start of this section. That way, you can get a bunch of coins. Definitely want to get my hands on some coins. And you want to spire jump and walk your way through here. There are 2 cars that you'll be going through
This here robbery
with...
one for the record books.
Nope. There'll be 2 cars you'll be going through with Tennessee Kid Cooper. This is the first one. And both of these cars will have a Sly mask. And I messed that up. I thought I did not have a full bar for the crack shot technique, but I did. And there's a Sly mask. We can't get to that yet. Alright. Need to get away from the spotlight. That way, we can give ourselves enough time to blow that up and then get over here. We'll be coming back for that eventually. Now to wait for these lasers to make their way down. And now you can shoot this and turn off all the laser fields. With that done, we can finally get the Sly mask. Going to go ahead and mark that down in my notes so that way I know I have it on both my practice file and my main file. And about to say,
Faster, Murray!
You got it, chum!
Keep her steady! Bullseye! Great job, Tennessee! We'll keep this safe for now. Great! Keep moving forward, Tennessee!
and we have now taken the stolen gold from the first car. Now we need to climb across this pipe to get to the second one. And it's a good thing that I had some place to land on right there. Oh, now I mess it up.
Forward, Tennessee!
I forgot that I needed to press circle in order to do the walking across the little pipes here.
Pay old Toothpick back for stealing the gold I should have took.
And
Wipe that smirk right off Toothpick's face.
And now it is time to get through this second car. And I'm going to take a little bit of a shortcut here just to get over here. Ah, I knew I forgot something. Now we can get over to here. Of course, we do need to wait on the lasers. Wait for them to move away from you.
Why, I might have to retire after this one.
And then we can make our way through. Now, thankfully, we can definitely hit these targets. And now we're going to have to wait for the gauge to refill before we can do this again. And we have another one of these to shoot down. Wait for the lasers to go down before you double jump your way across. And now the laser fields are deactivated. Let's go back and get the other slime mask. And that is the slime mask for car number 2. Once we get over it. Hey, Stolen Gold, how's it going? Once we open this up, we'll get the rest of the gold, and then we can take on Toothpick.
Faster, Murray! You got it, chum! Keep her steady. That's it, Murray. Come to daddy. Okay, Tennessee. We'll grab the rest once we stop the train. Yes, you're almost there.
Time to pay old Toothpick back for stealing the gold I should have took. I'm gonna wipe that smirk right off Toothpick's face.
And now it's time to climb under the train and get to the head car. Just keep holding the direction down and you'll eventually get over here.
Why don't you bring your little runt self down here and take your whooping like a man, Sheriff?
Oh, blast you! Tennessee Kid Cooper! I'm gonna lock you in the deepest, darkest hole, and I'm going to throw away the key!
Give it up, Toothpick! The fat lady is sung and you are done!
Oh, am I?
My gun! No!
Thanks, kid! Lou Paradox sends his regards! Adios, idiot!
Relax, pal. I'll take care of this.
And now,
It's all over, Cooper!
Break out the tailbird costume, Sly. Watch those lasers fly.
Why does everyone use lasers?
we have to face Toothpick as Sly. Let's run this over with
It's all over, Cooper!
the ball form.
Maybe you should talk less and aim more.
And if I could actually get out of the costume, I will be able to get away from these sticks of dynamite. So we need to hit these things with the ball and chain from the prisoner outfit. And we also need to run around in a circle a little bit just to avoid the pistol fire. But once we hit these things,
That hurts my ears! Who turned on that blasted whistle?
Look out, he'll squash you flat.
and that will get him all riled up. You want to hold R1 and run around in a circle,
Try jumping those small
and then you want to get all the way to the back and avoid the tornadoes. For the big ones that come towards you, you want to use the R1 button to avoid those. Then we want to use the ball from the prisoner costume to knock him into the fire, and that's when we smack him with the cane repeatedly. We'll be able to get some health from doing so.
Cooper! You shouldn't have done that!
And now we have to do this again, but now he throws 2 whole sticks of dynamite.
Stay in one place. Gotta keep moving. Keep focused. This guy is quick, man.
And now he's going to fire at me. Great. And apparently he's doing this with the Gatling gun.
That hurts my ears! Who turned on that blasted whistle?
Second verse, same as the first, but he will be a little faster. You definitely do not want to be in the shadow. And once again, you want to stay all the way to the back.
I'll have to avoid them.
Jump if you have to. Run to avoid the singular big ones. There's 3 of these now, apparently. I forgot. And now, knock him in with the ball and chain. Get some health if we wallop this guy again. And there's one more phase of this. Now he's going to throw 3 sticks.
Oh well, I guess I couldn't expect him to
And he's also going to do that. When you see these things that create the little laser field, you want to run them over with the ball. And if I could do this without getting shot at, that would be great. Thankfully, we can just hang back and do it this way. Also, this is what they were hiding the whole time. Really? Yeah, definitely want to change direction there because he's even faster that time around.
No way to jump these twisters. I'll have to avoid them.
And yeah, just staying all the way back lets you avoid the twisters, especially when they move around a little randomly. And there should be 3. I was expecting 4. Well, we managed to survive. Let's go ahead and smack him around one more time, and that will be it for Toothpick.
Well, look at what the cat drug in. Looks like this here's our stop.
Sly, we got a real problem.
I think I just took care of that, Bentley.
No, Sly, the train. It's headed for a broken bridge.
I'm guessing that wasn't part of the plan?
Sly, you have to get off that train. Jump to the van. Murray, hit the brakes.
They're not working! And I can't shut down the rockets!
What? You idiots! You call this a plan? Ugh, I knew this was a bad idea. I knew I should have had you send me back to Paris. Ugh, I can't believe it's going to end like this.
What in tarnation are they doing? And I was just wondering where that golden got to. Bentley!
Sorry, Murray. This has to work.
Hey, that's my necklace!
Here goes nothing.
As the van hurtled into the ravine, it felt like we were in slow motion. The thought that our adventures were over flashed through my mind as I braced for the crash. Then, in desperation, Bentley grabbed the closest thing at hand, Murray's Australian fossil necklace, and used it in the time machine. He saved our lives. But now, we had no idea where we were headed. We held on as the van was sucked through the wormhole, tumbling around like a cork in the ocean. Who knew where we'd land? And more importantly, when? Things weren't going very well. We'd landed somewhere, from the looks of it, prehistoric. I was slightly concerned when Bentley broke out the dinosaur repellent, but that was the least of my worries. The crash landing had damaged the van, so the time machine wasn't working properly. Not only was traveling back to Paris impossible, but we couldn't even raise Dimitri on the transceiver. Also, we still had no idea how the Paradox had managed to develop his own time machine. And that was a scary thought. Carmelita was still really hot about things. I just wanted a chance to explain, to tell her how sorry I was for getting her mixed up in all of this. Before we had a chance to talk, she stormed off in a rage. I tried going after her, but I figured that wasn't the best idea. our conversation would have to wait. At least until she holstered that pistol. We decided the first order of business was figuring out where and when we were. And then, how we were going to repair the van. Otherwise, we'd have to get used to living in a cave. Permanently.
And this has led to the beginning of Chapter 3. Apparently, Murray's necklace was so old that it could be used as an historical artifact and a means of traveling through time. It's pretty obvious we're in prehistoric times, more than likely the Ice Age. And we will have to look around and see what exactly is going on. But that will have to wait until the next video. So let's go ahead and save the game real quick. Because I have been recording for almost an hour. Amazingly, that still took an hour. I thought I'd be able to do everything in less time, but again, I guess not. Join me next time where we explore what looks like a prehistoric time period. More than likely the Ice Age. And once again, we'll be exploring for the clue bottles. I'll definitely want the clue bottles next time, because I have looked a bit ahead. And if I can get all 30 clue bottles and open the safe that's here, finding the rest of the clue bottles in the game will be a lot easier. So, join me then where I take care of making that a reality. And then after that, we're going to find out what the heck's going on and see if we can somehow find a way out of here. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!